Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Ashby with FamilySearch, and we're excited to do another series today on using historical records. And today we have Kara with us. Welcome, Kara.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. So, Kara, help us get started. Can you give us an overview of historical records?
Absolutely. Yes, historical records are databases we have here at FamilySearch that provide free online access to indexes and digital images of records that we have. Other genealogical websites also have databases that contain historical records, but for today's purposes, I wanted to highlight what we have here at FamilySearch.
Perfect.
So here at FamilySearch, we currently have approximately 3,000 different collections. These collections cover record groups from all over the world. And you can search these collections in 3 different ways. I'm going to start out by showing you how to search those collections and the 3 ways you can do it.
Sounds great.
Okay, I'm just going to share my screen here. So when you're at FamilySearch.org to access the historical records, you want to go to Search and click on Records. And this is the landing page. And you can see here that you can search the collections in 3 different ways. You can search it by an individual and entering in information, or you can search it by a location, and you can even narrow it. Once you highlight the United States, you can then narrow it by the state. Or
cool.
You can also search the collection by its title. And if you know the title, you type it in here. And if not, you click Browse All Published Collections and they all come up. And then you can narrow it by entering keywords into this search bar.
So there's a couple different ways you can do it.
Yeah. And let's just kind of walk through one. I'm just going to click on this first one, this of Alabama births and christenings. So when you first get to a landing page of a collection, it's important to read up here at the top a brief description about the collection. And then if you want to know even more, you click on this link, how to use this collection. And this is going to take you to a wiki page that's going to be really detailed, and it's going to give you all the ins and outs of that specific collection.
Wow. So all of that is just about Alabama, just the births and christenings. There's a lot of information just there.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Perfect. That's great. So this is really helpful to see it this way and know that there's a couple different ways to do this. Kara, what would you tell us about what people need to know before they look at historical records, right? There might be some people saying, I know I need records, but what do I need to know so I know where to go? How do we do that?
Right. That's a great question. It can be daunting to think, wow, there's 3,000 different databases out there. How do I get started? So if you wanted to do a search in these databases by an individual, say one of your ancestors, you would need to know their name and have an approximate date that you'd be searching. It can just even be a year range, and also a locality where they lived or where you think they may have served in the military or died, but you need a locality.
And it's probably good, Kara, to say, like, I'm not going to find everybody in my family, but maybe if you're really getting started, maybe just 1 or 2 or a couple people to start with, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, just pick one person and start with them.
Okay.
So, for example, if I was researching my great-grandfather, perhaps, I could search for him by locality. I knew he was in California. I could search for him by his name, or I could also look for him in a specific database. For example, I know that he served in the war, World War I. So I could look in the World War I database.
Wonderful. Could you show us how you would do that? Could you give us an example of looking at those that World War I database?
Sure. Yeah, the database specifically that you would likely find your male ancestor in that lived during that time period would be the World War I draft registration cards database.
Okay.
Because whether they served or not, all young men had to register. So let me show you how to do that.
And because that's an event, obviously you probably wouldn't click on that map. So you'd have to probably go somewhere else to look for that, right?
Yeah, so here, so remember, you can search by an individual.
Okay.
So I could type his name in here. I could also search by locality, but I want to browse by the collection.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do World War One. Oh, let me start it out this way. We need to narrow it by the country. So United States, World War One. And here you go. You can see there's lots of different
Okay, so it just refines that
options.
Okay.
So you just narrow it as best you can, but here we go. United States World War One draft registration cards. And then again, here's a brief summary of the collection. And if you want to know more, you click on this link and it would give you lots of information. But let's go with a name. So you would know your ancestor's name. You'd have to for this. Okay, and he was born in Missouri about 1889. Okay, and I hit search. And here he is.
Wow, that's pretty narrow. There's 2 results. You don't even have to scroll.
And it's the same card. I'm not sure why he's in here twice, but it's the same card. So then you can view it. You can click on it and read the extracted information, or even click on the actual document, and it's going to show it to you exactly as it was filled out at the time.
Oh, wow. Look at that. There's the actual document.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really helpful to see that done, Kara, because I would assume that if you went to just the broad page, that homepage of searching that you showed us, and you just looked for him, you might find a whole lot of results that aren't out of that World War I collection. So that's good to know that you can search that specific database for him specifically.
Yeah, definitely. It's okay to start by just typing in your ancestor's name and details, but you have to remember that that search is then going to look in all 3,000 databases.
Okay.
So it is better to narrow it by locality or a specific record group like military records.
Perfect. Well, Kara, this has been so helpful. Thanks for showing your screen and walking us through a couple of these things. What would you say as we wrap up this overview on historical records? Any last thoughts you'd leave us with?
I just like to encourage people to not be afraid to dive in, to just get into those historical records and see what you can find. I guarantee you're going to find something on your family, and then you'll be hooked.
Perfect. So just give it a go, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Kara, thanks so much. This was super helpful. Thanks for walking us through this.
You bet.